My beloved child, before you continue walking through the thoughts that have weighed down your heart, I want you to know that I know exactly where your soul is today. I know those pains that no one can see, those worries that you keep silent, those questions that you ask when you are alone and feel that you cannot find answers. I know the fatigue that comes not only from the body, but from the soul, the wear and tear of trying to understand paths that seem confusing, the weight of looking at some situations and thinking that something important has been lost forever. I know the feeling of looking back and imagining that certain moments will never come back, that some doors have closed definitively, and that some dreams have become too distant. But, my son, I need to reveal something to your heart. That which your eyes interpret as an end is not always the end that I see. You think you are standing still, but I tell you, I am already working in places that your eyes cannot yet reach. While you observe the silence, I am moving circumstances. While you feel that nothing has changed, I am strengthening roots within you. While you believe that something has disappeared, without explanation, I am revealing that which really needed to remain. There is a work going on in the invisible. A seed, when it is placed in the ground, seems to have disappeared. To human eyes, she disappeared. But within that hidden place, there is life being formed. There are roots growing. There is a transformation happening before any leaves appear. So also, I have worked in your life. You look at what has come out of your hands, but I look at what I am building within your heart. You look at the absence, but I see the preparation. You look at a closed door, but I see a path being guarded. My child, do not allow the pain of the moment to make you forget my presence. As you listen to this message, I am already touching areas of your soul that have been wounded by time. I'm already bringing light to places where you've held sadness. I am already restoring thoughts that have been weakened by the battles you have faced. There's a reason why you've come to this message today. There is something that your soul needs to remember. Before this message ends, I want to show you a truth that you may have forgotten. No loss is greater than the purpose I have placed within you. Because that which disappears before your eyes cannot erase that which I have established within your soul. My son, walk with me through these words. Open your heart and allow me to show you the hidden meaning behind the things you have failed to comprehend. Because there's something going on right now, even if you can't see it yet. My son, stay with me because I want to reveal something profound about that which you have called loss and disappearance. In this message, I will show you how I have been working in the unseen, strengthening your roots and preparing your soul to understand the hidden purpose behind each difficult phase. You will find that not every end was defeat and that some absences made room for a new revelation. If this word has touched your heart, write Amen as a statement of faith and remain united with me. I also invite you to like this message and subscribe to continue receiving words that strengthen your journey. Don't go now. In the last few minutes of this message, I have something special to reveal to you about what I've done during this time in your life. Open your heart and allow my teachings to bring light to that which still seems hidden from your eyes today as well. My child, I want you to understand a truth that often goes unnoticed by your soul. Not everything that comes out of your hands represents a loss. There are times when I allow something to be taken out of your way because it no longer carried the life I was preparing for you. You think you missed an opportunity, but I tell you, I was protecting your purpose. You think that a closed door means rejection, but I tell you, some doors have been closed because I know ways that your eyes still cannot see. My son, I don't just work with that which appears before you. I work in the depths, in the places where no one observes. Just as a seed disappears within the earth before revealing its strength, there are parts of your life that seem hidden but are being strengthened by my presence. You think you are buried in a difficult phase, but I tell you, you are taking root. You think you are forgotten, but I tell you, I am deepening your identity, because a tree without deep roots does not remain when the winds come. I don't just want to deliver fruit into your hands. I am forming a structure within you that will remain when the seasons change. My son, remember Abraham, when I called him out of his land. He might have thought he was leaving everything behind. He could have looked at what he was missing and not realized what he was receiving. But I was not taking Abraham away from safety. I was leading Abraham to a promise. You often look back on what you have left behind, and you do not realize what I have revealed within you along the way. Some old versions of your soul had to disappear so that a new consciousness could be born. Some fears needed to be confronted. Some dependencies had to be removed. Some illusions had to fall. You think I took something from you, but I tell you, I was freeing up space for something deeper to grow. My son, I know the pain of looking at a story that didn't happen as you imagined. I know the questions that arise when your plans change, but I tell you, a story interrupted by men is not interrupted by my hands. Joseph saw the pit, but I could already see the palace. Joseph saw the prison, but I already saw the purpose. He didn't understand each step, but each step was preparing his heart to carry that which I had placed upon his life. Maybe today, you're looking at an emotional arrest, an extended wait, or a door that has closed, but I am touching your perception so that you see beyond the appearance. What seems like delay may be preparation. What seems empty can be the space where my presence is forming something new. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it shall come forth to light. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43:19. My child, do not allow that which has disappeared to make you lose that which I am revealing. Look within and notice the roots that have already grown, the faith that has already matured, and the strength that has already been born in silence. My son, if this word has touched your heart, write Amen in the comments, because this act of faith I hear. My son, I want you to understand that what disappears before your eyes does not define the size of my presence in your life. Many times you measure security by what you can hold, by what you can control, by what you can touch. But I am teaching your soul to find rest in something that cannot be lost. You think that your strength was in the things that remained, but I tell you, your true strength has always been in that which I have built within you. You think that when a person left, an opportunity ended, or a phase changed, a part of you also disappeared. But I tell you, what I planted in your essence is still alive. My son, there are things that need to fall in order for you to discover where your roots really are. A tree that relies only on leaves does not remain when winter comes. But a tree that has taken deep roots lives on, even when the surrounding scenery looks colorless. So I am working on you. You look at the cold season and you think that there is no more life, but I tell you, there are movements going on under the earth. You look at the empty branches and think it's all over, but I see the strength hidden in the roots. Don't just stick to what your eyes can see. I see what is happening in the silence of your heart. I see the changes that you haven't noticed yet. I see the maturity that was born after the battles. I see the faith that grew after the nights you had to trust without understanding. My son, Job, lost that which seemed to represent his stability. He lost possessions, lost security, and went through moments when his questions seemed to have no answer. But when everything that supported his human vision disappeared, something deeper was born within him. He didn't just find answers, he found a greater revelation of who I am. I knew you just by hearing, but now my eyes see you. Job 42:5. You think that some losses have taken you away from me, but I tell you, some losses have been the way by which I have brought your soul closer to my presence. Because there are levels of confidence that are not born when everything is easy. There are depths that only appear when you learn to stay even without seeing. My son, I am not only restoring situations around you, I am restoring your perception. I am teaching you to look into emptiness and realize that it is not empty when my presence is in it. You think you have lost something you needed to continue, but I tell you, I continue to be enough to sustain your every step. When Israel walked through the wilderness, they didn't have all the answers. They didn't know how each day would go, but I was guiding every move. The cloud during the day and the fire at night were signs that I had never abandoned these people. So also I remain with you. My son, do not just look at what has come out of your hands. Look at what has remained within your soul. because that which disappears in the visible world will never be greater than that which I am strengthening in the invisible world. My son, write, Lord, I believe. And by liking this video, you take this word to another child who also needs to hear that he is not alone. My son, I know how silence can deeply touch your soul. I know how hard it is to keep believing when your eyes don't find signs of change. You pray, you wait, you seek an answer, and as time passes, your heart begins to ask if I am really listening. But I tell you, silence is not the place where I disappear. Often, it is exactly the place where I am working in the deepest way. You think nothing is happening because you cannot see movement, but I tell you there are movements that happen before manifestation. Just as the seed grows hidden before it breaks through the earth, I am already working on areas of your life that still remain invisible. My son, do not confuse the absence of noise with the absence of action. Winter seems like a lifeless season, but underground the roots continue to be strengthened. The tree that seems to be stationary is preparing for a new season. So too I am strengthening parts of your soul that will need to stand firm when new paths open up. You think you are waiting for an answer, but I tell you, while you wait, I am preparing your perception to recognize that which is already being built. Because the biggest change doesn't always start around you. Often it starts within you. Before David faced the giant, I worked on him while tending the sheep. No one saw his battles on the field. No one saw his courage being formed. No one saw his intimacy with me being built. But I saw it. Before Moses led a people, I took them to a place where their identity was transformed. The desert looked like a hiding place, but it was a school where I prepared your heart. My son, you think that some periods of your life have been forgotten, but I tell you, no place where I work is wasted. Maybe you're living in a phase where few people understand what's going on inside you. Maybe no one notices the silent struggles you face, the decisions you have to make, or the battles that take place inside your mind. But I realize, I was with Joseph when he seemed forgotten in a prison. I was with Daniel when he was taken away from his land. I was with Elijah when he found himself hiding by the brook. They didn't see the next chapter, but I was already present in every line of the story. My son, there is a difference between being hidden and being lost. You may be out of people's eyes, but you have never been out of my eyes. You think that silence is a wall preventing your walk, but I tell you, it is often a secret door to a transformation that you have not yet understood. I am already touching your consciousness. I am already strengthening your faith. I am already working on the roots of what will be revealed at the right time. Do not despise the invisible process, because it is in it that I prepare that which will remain. My son, if you believe that I continue to work even in silence, write, I trust in your action, my son. I know the doors that you have tried to open. I know the opportunities you have desired, the ways you have prayed for, and the places where your heart has imagined finding answers. I saw when you stood before a closed door and thought, why, Lord, why didn't you allow that to happen? But I tell you, not every closed door represents a loss. Some closed doors are deliverances that you cannot yet comprehend. You see a door that has not opened, but I see the path that was after it. You see only the beginning, but I see all the consequences. You see the opportunity, but I also see the weights, the battles, and the challenges that were hidden behind that entrance. My son, your eyes reach only a part of history, but my vision reaches eternity. You think you missed a chance, but I tell you, I was preserving that which I put inside you. You think you have been left behind, but I tell you, I was preventing you from walking to a place where your soul would lose peace. There are paths that look bright on the outside, but hide deserts on the inside. There are doors that seem like answers, but carry pains that you are not yet prepared to face. I know what you don't know yet. When Paul wanted to follow certain paths, he did not understand when he encountered impediments. He might have thought something was going wrong, but I was directing his steps toward a greater purpose. A man's steps are established by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Psalm 37:23. My son, I also guide through the no's. I also speak through pauses. I also take care through the interruptions. You have learned to be grateful for the open doors, but I want to teach your soul to trust in the doors that I close. Because a small child can cry when a parent prevents him from touching something dangerous. She doesn't understand it at that moment, but love was present precisely in the impediment. So I do with you. You think I'm taking something out of your hands, but I tell you I am protecting something within your heart. I know the weight of what you want to carry. I know if your soul structure is prepared for what your eyes want to achieve. Sometimes before I deliver a great opportunity, I strengthen your roots. Before I put you in a new place, I prepare your identity so that you will not be lost when you get there. My child, do not allow a closed door to make you doubt my care. A seed does not claim because it has been placed underground. It remains there because there is a process happening before life appears. Maybe you're in a phase where it seems like nothing moves. Perhaps you are looking at what did not happen and feeling sadness for what disappeared. But I am touching your perception so that you see it in another way. What you call loss, I call protection. What you call delay, I call preparation. What you call the end, I may be using as the beginning of a new understanding. Do not go now, my child. What follows has been kept especially for you, and it may be what will change what you believe about your future. My child, I want you to understand something that can transform the way you look at your own history. That which has gone out of your life has no power to erase that which I have placed within you. You think you've lost a part of who you were because the situation has ended, but I tell you, your identity has never been bound by circumstances. You think that relationship defined your worth, but I tell you, before that person arrived, I already knew your essence. You think that that lost opportunity determined your future, but I tell you, no closed path can prevent that which I have formed within your soul. My son, you have looked too much at what has disappeared and little at what has remained. You have lost some things, but you still carry gifts, learnings, experiences, and a strength that was born in the moments when you thought you could not continue. There are seeds within you that were planted even before the hardships came. I know every detail of his training. Before anyone recognized his name, I already knew his heart. Before anyone saw your potential, I already saw that which was hidden within you. When I called Jeremiah, he looked at himself and saw limitations. He thought he wasn't capable, that he didn't have enough words, and that his youth was a hindrance. But I did not look at what he saw. I looked at what I had put into him. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and before you came out of the womb, I sanctified you. Jeremiah 1:5. My son, this word also reaches your soul. You think you need to be recognized in order to have value, but I tell you, your value was born before applause. You think you need to prove who you are to the world, but I tell you, I already know your true identity. Often, pain tries to convince you that what happened to you is who you are. But I tell you, your wound is not your identity. Your past is not your identity. Your mistake is not your identity. You've been through difficult times, but you're not defined by them. Just as a tree remains alive even after losing leaves during a season, you continue to carry life because its roots are planted in me. My son, some leaves had to fall so that new leaves could be born. Some levels had to end so that you could discover parts of yourself that were hidden. Do not allow that which has disappeared to take away the vision I have of you. The enemy tries to make you believe that a loss took your purpose with it. He tries to make you look at a closed door and conclude that your story is over. But I tell you, that which I have planted in you continues to grow, even when no one can see it. People's hands can remove things from their lives, but no one can remove what I have built in their soul. My promise is not based on what you have lost. It is grounded in who I am. My son, state in the comments, I get that word. And by leaving your like, you help to take this message to another heart. My son, I know there are times when you look at the place where you are and wonder why you had to go through this path. You look around and see limitations, uncertainties, and situations that seem to have no answers. But I tell you, the desert that you see as abandonment, I see as a place of revelation. You think you have been taken to an empty place, but I tell you I am showing you that which really exists within you. In the desert, many things that seemed important lose their value. Distractions diminish, false securities disappear, and the heart begins to reveal what was hidden. Not because I want to expose you to condemn, but because I want to free you from that which hindered your growth. My son, some things had to disappear for you to discover that your life was not sustained only by what was around you. You think you needed that situation to continue, but I tell you, you needed to discover that my presence has always been sufficient. When the people of Israel walked through the desert, I did not abandon them. I led them through every step. When food ran out, I brought provision. When there was a lack of direction, I showed the way. When they didn't know what to do, I remained present. The desert was not the final destination. It was the place where a new trust was being formed. My son, perhaps you are going through an emotional desert. Maybe there are areas of your life where it seems like everything has gotten harder. Maybe you're missing things that once brought security, but I tell you, don't interpret this phase just by what you're missing. Also look at what is being born within you. You think you are losing strength, but I tell you I am creating resistance in your soul. You think you are alone, but I tell you, I am deepening your intimacy with me. You think you are living in a scarcity, but I tell you, I am revealing sources that you never realized existed. Jesus also passed through the wilderness before he began his ministry. Before the public demonstration, there was a period of preparation in secret. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Matthew 4:4. My son, there are places where I withdraw some dependencies to strengthen your confidence. There are times when I allow certain things to decrease so that your perception increases, because a faith that depends only on circumstances is a fragile faith. But a faith created in secret remains firm even when the winds change. I am already working in the deep areas of your soul. I am already revealing thoughts, fears, and beliefs that needed to be transformed. The desert is not the place where you disappear. It is the place where that which I have placed within you begins to appear. My son, keep walking with me, because there are still revelations hidden in this journey. What seems like just a difficult phase can carry a transformation that your eyes cannot yet understand. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become an instrument in my hands, helping this word reach those who need to hear the most, who have not been forgotten. My son, I know that many times you look at a situation and think that it has come to an end. You look at what didn't happen, at what has lost strength, at what seems to have disappeared, and your heart begins to believe that there is no more hope. But I tell you, that which seems lost to you has never been lost to me. You see only what is in front of your eyes, but I see what is happening behind the scenes. You see a closed door, but I see the paths that I am aligning. You see a long wait, but I see every detail being prepared at the right time. My son, you long to see the miracle done, but you often don't notice the silent work that happens before it reveals itself. Before a tree appears above the ground, there is a hidden movement in the roots. Before the dawn light touches the sky, the darkness is already starting to lose strength. Before an answer comes into your hands, I'm already working in places that you cannot reach. You think silence means that nothing has changed, but I tell you, many changes begin when no one can perceive. I'm working on hearts, I'm touching thoughts. I am opening paths that have not yet appeared before you. I'm preparing meetings, strengthening your faith, and adjusting details you can't even imagine. When Lazarus died, many looked at that situation and concluded that it was too late. For them, the story was over. Hope was gone, but I do not see how man sees. I came before that scenario and declared, I am the resurrection and the life. John 11:25. My son, what men call the end, does not limit what I can do. You think that because something took time, it lost its meaning. But I tell you, some things must go through the process before they reveal their true form. A seed does not become a tree at the same instant it is planted. There is a time when it remains hidden, receiving strength, taking root, and preparing to break through the surface. So also I work in your life. You think your prayer has not been heard, but I tell you, I am already working while you still wait. You think the situation is at a standstill, but I tell you, there are movements going on in the invisible. My child, do not allow the appearance of a situation to steal your trust. The stone, before Lazarus's tomb, seemed to represent an end. But to me it was just something that would be removed at the right moment. The door that seems closed today is no greater than my power. The time that seems lost is no greater than my ability to restore. The night that seems long is no greater than the light that I am already bringing. My son, I want you to look again at that which you have called lost. Maybe there's still a part of the story that you haven't seen. Perhaps there is a revelation hidden behind this weight. Because I keep writing chapters that your eyes still can't see. There is someone in your heart now. Write that person's name in the comments. I hear every name you declare. My son, I know the difficulty that exists in leaving behind what was once part of your life. I know attachment to memories, places, people, and even old versions of yourself. I know how your heart tries to hold on to what is already past, because there is a fear inside you of walking towards something you do not yet know. But I tell you, that which has finished need not be carried like a burden. You think you need to hold on to the past so you don't lose a part of your story, but I tell you, your story doesn't end when a season ends. Some seasons end precisely because they have fulfilled the purpose they had in their lives. Just as a tree doesn't stay the same leaves during all seasons, you weren't created to stay exactly the same forever. There are times when some leaves need to fall so that new fruits can be born. My son, you look at the leaves that have fallen and feel sadness, but I look at the roots that are still alive. You think you have lost that which sustained you, but I tell you, I am revealing that your strength was never only in what was around you. Some people stayed for a while to teach, strengthen, and participate in a portion of their walk. Some doors remained open for a phase, but they were not built to last forever. Some experiences have come to form within you something that will remain even after they are over. I don't want you to be stuck in what I'm already transforming. My son, there's a difference between honoring the past and dwelling in it. I want you to be grateful for what you have experienced, but do not allow old memories to prevent you from seeing the new work I am doing within your soul. You think that moving forward means abandoning everything that has happened, but I tell you, moving forward means carrying the wisdom that was born from that phase without remaining attached to the pain of it. I don't erase your history. I redeem your story. I take that which seemed lost and use it to form a new consciousness in you. I use old experiences to bring maturity. I use scars to remind you that you survived moments you once thought you couldn't stand. Behold, all things have become new, and what was old is past. 2 Corinthians 5:17. My child, the new that I am revealing does not begin when everything around changes. Often it starts when your way of seeing changes. Before a new door appears, I prepare your eyes to recognize it. Before a new season arrives, I prepare your heart not to try to return to that which is left behind. You think that you are losing something by letting go of the old, but I tell you, some things need to come out of your hands so that they can open up to receive that which I am forming. Don't be afraid of the dawn because the night is over. Don't be afraid of the new because the old has passed. I continue to guide your steps, even when the path looks different from the one you imagined. Do not stop now, my child. What comes in the next few minutes may be the answer you've been seeking for so long, and I've saved it for this very moment. My child, I want you to understand that the greatest transformations in your life do not always begin where your eyes can reach. Many times you look for signs on the surface, you look for rapid changes, you look for evidence that something is happening, but I am working in deep places that have not yet been revealed. You think you are in the same place, but I tell you, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. You think that nothing has changed because the situation around you remains the same, but I tell you, I am already changing your way of thinking, your way of seeing, and your ability to stand firm. A root growing underground doesn't make any noise. It doesn't draw attention. She does not receive applause. But it is the tree that supports the tree when the strong winds come. My son, do not despise what happens in silence. You want to see fruits, but I am strengthening roots. You want to see doors open, but I am preparing your structure to pass through those doors without losing your essence. You want to receive answers, but I am forming within you the wisdom to deal with that which will be revealed. I'm not just preparing moments, I'm preparing you. Often, if I delivered that which you ask for ahead of time, you would receive something great, with a still small soul to carry. So I work first on the inside. I strengthen before expanding. I heal before entrusting new responsibilities. My son, you think that waiting is stealing your days, but I tell you, each day is being used to build something that will remain. You look back on the years that have passed and think that they have been wasted. But I see learnings, maturation, and experiences that have formed your identity. Nothing that passes through my hands is empty. Even difficult times carry seeds of growth. Even tears can water parts of your soul that were hardened. Even deserts can reveal sources you didn't know existed. You think you need a change around to feel hope, but I tell you, I am already turning on a light within you. The light that is born within the soul does not depend on circumstances. It remains even when the scenario changes. She continues to shine, even when the days seem difficult. My son, remember a seed. Before appearing as a tree, she accepts the hidden process. She remains underground, seemingly forgotten, but she is getting everything she needs to grow. So also I am working in you. I'm already strengthening areas that have been injured. I am already restoring thoughts that have been weakened. I am already forming a deeper trust, a more mature faith, and a closer awareness of my presence. Don't be in a hurry to abandon the process. What grows deeply stays longer. My son, there is a work going on inside you that does not depend on people's eyes to exist. I continue to work on the roots, because that which will be sustained for a long time must first be strengthened in the secret place. My son, I know that silence can awaken doubts within your heart. I know that there are times when you look up to the sky expecting a clear answer, a visible sign, an immediate confirmation. And when it doesn't arrive in the way you imagined, your mind begins to wonder if I'm still near. But I tell you, my presence never depends on the noise around you. You think that when you see no movement, I am not acting. But I tell you, many of my greatest works begin in places where no one can observe. The silence that you fear is often the place where I deepen your perception. When everything around you is quiet, you begin to notice what was previously hidden by excessive worries, external voices, and the distractions of life. It is in this place that I am teaching your soul to recognize my direction in a deeper way. My son, you think you need big signs to make sure that I am looking after you, but I tell you, I also speak through the small details. I speak of that peace that comes even when the situation has not yet changed. I speak of that strength that appears when you thought you couldn't continue. I speak of that hope that is born within you even after difficult days. You think that the absence of answers means that I have forgotten your prayer, but I tell you, an answer may be being prepared while your heart is still waiting. A seed does not scream as it grows. She makes no announcements as her roots spread across the earth. She remains hidden, but she is alive. So too there are times when your faith seems to be buried, but I am strengthening that which no one sees. My son, I worked with Elijah when he was in front of large demonstrations, but I also spoke to him in the softness of a quiet voice. He was looking for something great, but I was showing that my presence does not depend on awesome signs. And after the fire, a still small voice. 1 Kings 19:12. You think you need to feel something extraordinary every day to know that I am present, but I tell you, I am present even in the simple moments. I am present when you get up and find the strength to continue. I am present when your heart chooses to trust even without understanding. My child, do not allow silence to make you forget all that I have already done. Remember the times when I opened paths that you did not expect. Remember the situations when you thought you had no way out and realized that my hand was holding you up. The same God who was with you in the past is still present now. Silence is not a wall between us. Silence is a place where I am working on your confidence, strengthening your roots, and preparing your soul. to see beyond what your eyes can see. That word didn't come to you by chance. Write in the comments, "I trust God," and let that be your act of faith for me today. My son, I know there are times when you look at your own life and feel that some parts of you have disappeared, along with that which has been lost. You look back and remember who you were, the achievements you had, the places you held, and the people who recognized your worth. And then you silently ask, "Who am I now?" But I tell you, you have never been that which you have lost. You think that your identity was bound to what you possessed, but I tell you, your true identity was born before any achievement, before any recognition, and before any human opinion. Before anyone knew his name, I already knew his essence. Before anyone saw your capabilities, I already saw the seeds I had placed within you. My son, some things have disappeared, not to destroy you, but to reveal who you really are when all distractions are removed. You think you have lost value because you have lost a position, but I tell you, your value has never been in a security. You think that you have ceased to be important because some people have stopped walking beside you. But I tell you, your importance has never depended on their approval. I know you beyond appearances. I know your intentions, your silent struggles, your deepest desires, and even those parts you try to hide from everyone. I see the heart that keeps searching, even after so many battles. My son, some masks had to fall for your true essence to appear. Sometimes you build an image based on what you can do, what you can offer, and what others expect of you. But when those things are removed, you feel as if you have lost yourself. But I tell you, you have not lost who you are. You're discovering who you've always been. Just as gold passes through fire to reveal its purity, some difficult phases reveal parts of your soul that were hidden. Fire does not create the value of gold. It only reveals what was already present. In the same way, difficulties do not create their identity. They reveal the strength, faith, and perseverance that I have already placed within you. And ye have put on the new man, which according to God is created in true righteousness and holiness. Ephesians 4:24. My son, you think the pressure is killing you. But I tell you, I am revealing a strength that you did not yet know. You think that the losses have diminished your story, but I tell you, they have only removed layers that hid the depth that exists within you. I'm not destroying you. I am separating what was appearance from what is true. I am teaching your soul not to depend only on what changes. I am showing that your security is not in the circumstances, because circumstances pass, but that which I have formed within you remains. My son, look within with new eyes. Don't just look at what has come out of your life. Notice what was born inside you after everything you have faced, the faith that matured, the wisdom that grew, the consciousness that has been awakened, the strength that showed up when you thought you couldn't keep going. All of this is also part of its history. My son, if you are here, it is because I have allowed it. I have something to reveal to you later today. Don't leave before you've heard what's next. My son, I know there are times when you look at your walk and you feel that you have moved away from the place where you imagined you to be. You look at the plans that didn't happen, the unexpected changes, and the paths that took a different direction, and your heart starts to think that something went wrong. But I tell you, not every detour is a loss of path. You think you have gone off course, but I tell you, I continue to guide your steps. You think that the change of direction means that you have lost the purpose, but I tell you, some changes are exactly what protects the purpose I have placed within you. You see curves, but I see preparation. You see interruptions, but I see times when I am forming something that has not yet been revealed. My son, you look only at the road that is before your eyes, but I see the full way. I know the parts you haven't walked through yet. I know the places where your soul needs to go. I know the experiences that will strengthen that which I have already planted within you. A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. Proverbs 16:9. You make plans because you see a moment. I drive because I know a whole story. My child, the path I choose for you will not always be the one your mind has imagined. Sometimes I change direction because there is something beyond what your eyes can perceive. Abraham received a call to leave his land. He didn't have all the details. He didn't know every step of the journey. He didn't know what each day would be like, but he had trusted in my direction. He left carrying a promise before he saw the fulfillment of it. So also I'm working with you. You think you need to understand everything in order to continue. But I tell you, some answers appear as you walk. A child holds his father's hand on an unfamiliar road because he trusts the presence of the one he leads more than the path that lies before him. My son, I want to teach your soul to rest in this way. Don't let a change of route make you believe you've lost your destination. Do not allow a different door to make you think that my hand has ceased to lead your life. I continue to be present in the places you hope to arrive and also in the places you never imagined you would be. I was present when a path opened. I was present when a door closed. I was there when you needed to start over. Nothing surprises the one who knows all things. My son, maybe you're looking at a phase of your life and asking why you had to go through it. But I tell you, some roads that seem long are forming a deeper vision within you. Travel is also part of the transformation. The path also teaches. Each step is revealing something about who you are and what I am building in your soul. I haven't lost control of your story. I have not abandoned his steps. I continue to guide you, even when the road looks different from what you expected. I've been good at your life in ways you haven't even noticed. Write in the comments, Amen, and proclaim with me my kindness to you. My son, I know that waiting may seem like one of the greatest tests of your faith. I know there are days when you look at the calendar, watch the time go by, and start to feel like you're falling behind. You look at what hasn't happened yet and think that your life is at a standstill. But I tell you, you are not standing still. I'm working. You think the waiting is diminishing your strength, but I tell you, I am strengthening your roots. You think that this time is empty, but I tell you, there is a construction happening within you that will be essential for the next steps of your journey. A tree that grows quickly without deep roots may seem large for a moment, but it doesn't stay when the winds come. Therefore, I do not work only for you to grow. I work for you to stay, my son. I don't just want to hand something into your hands. I want to prepare your heart to carry that without losing its essence. You think you need only the answer, but I tell you, you also need the transformation that happens while you wait. Because a response received at the wrong time can become a burden. An open door before preparation can reveal a weakness that still needed to be strengthened. I know the right time. I know the depth needed. I know the roots that need to grow before the fruits appear. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will mount up with wings like eagles. Isaiah 40:31. My child, waiting on me does not mean being forgotten in a place without movement. Waiting on me means allowing me to work in areas that you cannot touch on your own. I'm working on your patience. I'm strengthening your confidence. I am healing thoughts that have been wounded by time. I am teaching your soul not to depend only on what your eyes can see. You think you need an outer change to feel that something is happening, but I tell you, many of the greatest changes begin within. Before changing a situation, I often change the way you view that situation. Before opening a door, I strengthen your steps. Before I put something new in your hands, I prepare your inner self so that it does not become greater than your faith. My son, do not despise the silent process. A seed does not complain because it is still under the ground. She stays because she understands, even without words, that there is a time to take root before it appears. So also I'm doing to you. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. You think you have been left behind, but I tell you, I was deepening your structure. You think nothing has changed, but I tell you, I am already strengthening parts of your soul that will remain, even when circumstances change. My son, waiting is not a place where you disappear. It is a place where I reveal that which was hidden within you. This message is not for everyone, my son. If you are here, it is because I have chosen you to hear what comes next. Are you ready? My son, I know the memories you carry and the chapters that still make your heart heavy. I know those moments that you wish you could go back and change, those decisions that still go through your mind, and those situations that made you believe that something inside you died. But I tell you, what happened in the past has no power to erase what I have placed in you. You think that a closed door years ago determined your whole path, but I tell you, I continue to write your story. You think that a failure defined who you are, but I tell you, I see beyond the error. I see the person being formed through transformation. My son, you look at some areas of your life and think that there is no longer any possibility of change. You look at dreams that have become distant, opportunities that have passed, and parts of your heart that seem lifeless. But I am the one who brings life where human eyes see only end. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all living. Is there anything too hard for me? Jeremiah 32:27. You think that because something has taken time, it has lost its value, but I tell you, time does not limit what is in my hands. You think that because one phase has ended, it is all over, but I tell you, some seeds must remain hidden for a period before they break through the earth. My son, a tree during the winter can look completely empty. Its branches seem lifeless, its leaves disappear, and the scenery seems to say that nothing else will happen. But I see what is under the earth. I see the roots that are still alive. I see the strength that is being preserved. I see spring that begins even before the first signs appear. So also I look at you. You think you are in a fruitless season. But I tell you, a fruitless season does not mean a purposeless life. There are periods when I withdraw that which was visible to strengthen that which is invisible. There are times when I allow some things to stop, so that you realize that your hope was not in them, but in me. My child, do not allow your past to speak louder than my voice. Memories may try to hold you, but I am bringing freedom to your mind. Marks may tell a story of pain, but I am revealing a story of overcoming and restoration. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was using every experience to form wisdom within you. You think that some parts of your life have been destroyed, but I tell you, some parts needed to be transformed so that a new version of you could be born. I don't see you as someone defined by what happened. I see you as someone in the process of restoration. My son, that which seems buried to your eyes can still carry life when it is under my care. Because I am not limited by what has passed, nor by what seems impossible. I keep working where you think nothing else can happen. My son, I know those nights when you feel surrounded by silence. I know the moments when you look around and it seems that no one understands what is going on inside your heart. There are battles you face in secret, thoughts you hold on to not worry other people, and tears that fall when no one is looking. But I tell you, you have never been alone. You think that because you cannot see my hand, I am not acting. But I tell you, my presence continues to envelop your life in every detail. You think that because you did not hear an immediate answer, I walked away. But I tell you, I remain close, sustaining you in the places where your own strength seems to run out. I will not leave thee, nor forsake thee. Hebrews 13:5. My son, this promise does not depend on what you feel at any given moment. It depends on who I am. You can go through a dark night and still be guided by my light. You can walk through a valley and still be protected by my hands. You may not understand the path and yet be exactly where my presence reaches. You think you have to see everything in order to trust, but I tell you, true trust is born when you learn to rest, even without seeing all the details. A child sleeps peacefully in his father's arms because he does not need to know all the dangers around him. She rests because she recognizes who is taking care of her. So I take care of you, my son. I know the paths you haven't walked yet. I know the doors that are yet to be opened, and also those that need to remain closed to protect your soul. I know the weights you carry and the strengths you are still discovering within yourself. You think you have to carry it all yourself, but I tell you, surrender to me that which has wearied your heart. I don't ignore your concerns. I don't despise your tears. I do not pass away from your struggles. I am present in the room where you pray in silence. I am present in the moment when you take a deep breath and decide to continue. I am present when no one notices your battle, but I see every detail. My child, sometimes I allow human support to diminish so that you can discover a greater depth of my presence. Not because I want to keep you away from people, but because I want to show that your ultimate safety has never been in the hands of men alone. People can change. Circumstances may change. The paths can change, but I remain. You think you are going through a phase where you have lost support, but I tell you, you are finding that there is a greater force sustaining your steps. Just as a root stands firm even when the storm blows upon the tree, so your soul remains when it is grounded in me. My son, keep walking. Even if your eyes don't see, my presence is at work. Even if you don't realize, I am taking care of every detail. There are so many other children of mine who need to hear this now. By liking this video and subscribing to this channel, you become part of the chain that I use to bring my word to those who are on edge. My son, I know every tear that has fallen from your eyes. I know those tears that no one saw, those that you held back to look strong in front of people, those that fell in moments of silence when your heart could no longer express in words what it was feeling. But I tell you, no tears shed before me have been wasted. You think those difficult moments were just suffering, but I tell you, I was using every experience to plant something new inside of you. You think that pain has just taken things away, but I tell you, some pains have also revealed forces that were hidden. You think you went through nights that had no meaning, but I tell you, even the most difficult moments carried seeds of transformation. Those who sow with tears will reap with joy. Psalm 126:5. My son, a seed needs to go through a process before it appears as a fruit. It is placed in the dirt, is hidden, and faces the pressure of the environment around it. But what seems like an end to those who observe from the outside is, in fact, the beginning of a new life. So also I work in you. You think your tears showed your weakness, but I tell you, they revealed your ability to go on. You think you cried because you lost, but I tell you, many times you have cried because your soul was being prepared for something deeper. The rain that falls on a seed may seem heavy, but it is what awakens what was dormant. So too some tears you shed watered parts of your soul that needed to grow. My son, I did not ignore your difficult nights. I was present when you felt tired. I was present when you tried to smile while carrying a pain that no one knew. I was present when you thought you couldn't take another step. You think you were just surviving, but I tell you I was strengthening your roots. Because a tree that never faces winds does not learn to stand firm. A faith that never goes through challenges does not know its own depth. I didn't allow some experiments to destroy you. I allowed them to reveal that which I was already forming within you. My son, don't just look at the marks of the walk. Look also at the transformation that was born through it. Look at the patience you have developed. See the compassion that has grown within you. Look at the wisdom that came after moments that seemed impossible. You think that pain has stolen years of your life, but I tell you, I was redeeming each step. I was using even what hurt you to form a more mature, more aware, closer version of me. Not a single tear was invisible to my eyes. No prayer made in the midst of pain was forgotten. Not a moment of suffering has passed without me, working in silence. My child, what you call lost tears, I see as watered seeds for a transformation that continues to take place within your soul. My son, I know that there are times when your mind tries to understand every detail of your walk. You look at events in the past, at choices you made, at situations that arrived without warning, and you try to put all the pieces together to find out why some things happened. But I tell you, you don't have to see the whole picture to trust me. You see separate parts, but I see the whole story. You see loose pages, but I know the whole book. You see confusing moments, but I see how every experience is forming something within you. My son, you think that some things do not make sense, but I tell you, there are movements happening in the places that your eyes do not yet reach. Joseph received dreams of promise, but he found a pit. Then he found a prison. To human eyes, it seemed that everything was going wrong. It seemed that the path had strayed from what I had promised. but I was present at every step. The grave was not the end. Prison was not abandonment. Every moment was preparing Joseph for that which he could not yet comprehend. You meant evil against me, but God made it good, to do as it is this day, to keep many people alive. Genesis 50:20. My son, you think that some people, situations, or losses have destroyed your plans, but I tell you, nothing can stop what I am building when your life is in my hands. You look at a closed door and think you've missed an opportunity. I look at that same door and see protection. You look at a delay and think you've been forgotten. I look at that time and see preparation. You look at a wound and think it marked your defeat. I look at her and see a place where her faith is maturing. My son, some pages of your story are hard to read while you're still living in them. A person who reads only one page of a book may think that the story is meaningless, but when he reaches the end, he realizes that every detail had a purpose. So also I work in your life. I'm not writing separate chapters. I'm forming a complete story. You think you need to understand everything now, but I tell you, some revelations come when your soul is ready to receive them. There are answers that do not come only through words. Some answers come through the transformation that happens within you. You notice that you have become stronger. You realize that you see differently. You realize that what once seemed impossible no longer controls your heart. My son, I am already using experiences that you have not understood to build a deeper insight into yourself. Nothing was wasted. No phase was forgotten. No tear was left without purpose. Keep trusting, because what seems like a difficult page today may be the very part of history that will reveal my faithfulness in a way you never imagined. If this video is providing answers you need to hear, write in the comments, "God cares for me," and prophesy this truth about your own life. My son, I know there are nights which seem too long. I know there are times when you look at your reality and feel as if darkness has taken over everything around you. You look at what hasn't changed yet and start thinking that maybe nothing else will happen. But I tell you, the night is never greater than the dawn that I prepare. You think you are just living in a period of darkness, but I tell you, I am already putting signs of light within you. You think you need to see everything transformed to believe, but I tell you, true faith perceives birth before the result appears. Dawn does not begin when the sun touches the horizon. It begins when the darkness begins to lose strength. So it also happens within your soul. There are changes that have already begun within you, even if your eyes cannot yet fully perceive it. The way you think is being renewed. The way you see your pain is being transformed. Your ability to stand firm is growing. My son, you think that you are still that person who started this journey, but I tell you, you have already crossed places that have changed your essence. You have gone through nights that seemed endless, but they have not been able to extinguish the light that I have placed within you. The light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness did not prevail against it. John 1:5. My son, darkness may hide some things from your eyes, but it can never erase what I have kindled in your heart. You think you have lost your hope, but I tell you, many times it was just being strengthened in silence. You think your faith has become small, but I tell you, it is taking deeper root. You think you are waiting for the day of change to come, but I tell you, the transformation has already begun in the place where no one can see. A small flame in a dark environment is still light. It doesn't need to light the entire path at once to fulfill its purpose. Just stay lit. So also I'm doing to you, I'm taking care of that part of your soul that almost gave up. I'm bringing clarity to thoughts that have become confused. I am strengthening your awareness so that you are not dominated only by what your eyes observe. My son, do not allow the appearance of a level to determine what you believe about your story. Winter may seem lifeless, but it does not prevent the arrival of spring. The seed may seem forgotten under the earth, but it continues to carry within it what was placed by the Creator. You also carry life. You also carry purpose. You also carry a light that circumstances have not been able to extinguish. I'm already working on the details that you don't yet understand. I am already preparing your perception to see what once seemed hidden. What comes next may be the exact signal you asked for. I saved it for this moment. Stay with me. My son, I want you to look at your walk with a new understanding. Don't just look at the moments that hurt. Don't just look at the doors that close, the losses that happen, and the situations that made you question your own strength. I want you to see that which was born within you as you went through all of this. You think that pain has only taken things out of your life, but I tell you, it has also revealed things that were hidden within your soul. There are parts of you that would remain dormant if you had never faced certain battles. There are strengths that you would never know if you had never had to stand firm. There are depths in your heart that have only been revealed because you have gone through places where you thought you could not continue. My son, I have not allowed every challenge to destroy you. I was revealing a force that you didn't know yet. You think the storm came to bring down your tree, but I tell you, some storms came to show that your roots were stronger than you imagined. A tree does not learn to remain only on quiet days. It strengthens its roots when it faces winds, when it needs to stand firm, and when it encounters resistance along the way. So, it is with you. You think your tears were signs of weakness, but I tell you, many of them were times when your soul was being worked on. I was present when you cried in silence. I was there when you needed to smile while carrying a hidden pain. I was present when you thought that no one understood what was going on inside your heart. No night was invisible to me. No prayer uttered with a weary voice has gone unnoticed before my eyes. For you, O God, have tried us. You have refined us as silver is refined. Psalm 66:10. My son, silver and gold do not reveal their beauty because they have never passed through fire. They reveal their purity when they go through processes that remove that which does not belong to their essence. So I work in you. I'm not just interested in what people can see. I am taking care of what exists in the depths of your soul. You think that pain has changed who you were, but I tell you, it is revealing who you have always been in me. You think you have lost your joy, but I tell you, I am teaching you to find a peace that does not depend on circumstances. You think you have grown weaker, but I tell you, I am building a strength that is not born from the absence of problems, but from the presence of my hand supporting you. My son, do not allow a difficult phase to have the last word on your story. The wound you carry is not the final chapter. The scar is not a mark of defeat. It is a reminder that you crossed something that tried to stop your walk but couldn't. I continue to restore your sight. I continue to strengthen your hope. I keep revealing his identity. Because what pain has tried to hide, I am bringing to light again. My son, I know how difficult it is when you feel that what you have built starts to slip out of your hands. I know how your heart tries to find a way to control every detail, every answer, every decision, and every path. You try to hold on to everything because you're afraid of losing what you love. You try to predict everything because you are afraid of being surprised by pain. You try to solve everything because you believe that if you don't, everything could fall apart. But I tell you, you were not created to carry alone that which belongs to me. You think you need to keep everything under control so that your life can continue to stand. But I tell you, before you even tried to hold on, I was already holding on. My son, you hold what your eyes can see, but I hold what exists beyond your vision. You see only part of the story. You see the present moment, the current difficulty, and that which seems urgent. But I see the consequences, the hidden paths, and the things that need to be adjusted before you get where you want to go. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will do everything. Psalm 37:5. My son, surrendering does not mean giving up. Surrendering means recognizing that there is a greater wisdom leading that which your hands cannot reach. You think that trusting me means receiving all the explanations, but I tell you, trusting means resting, even when some answers are still being revealed. You see a closed door, but I see a protection. You see a delay, but I see an alignment. You see a loss, but I see a liberation. You see a broken path, but I see a direction being corrected. My son, there are things that you call the problems because you have not yet realized that I am using them to protect your walk. A small child does not understand when his father holds his hand and prevents him from following a dangerous path. She may even think that she is being prevented from doing what she wanted. but love was present at that limit. So, I take care of you. Not every impediment is rejection. Not all change is abandonment. Not all loss is destruction. Sometimes, what comes out of your hands makes room for you to realize that your security was never just in what you could control. My son, I am touching just that area of your soul that is tired of trying to solve everything. I'm bringing rest to your mind. I'm teaching your heart to trust again. I'm showing that you can walk without carrying the weight of being responsible for everything. Because when you try to control everything, your soul holds on to fear. But when you surrender to me, your soul finds freedom. You don't need to know all the details to know that I am present. You don't have to see all the ways to know that I am guiding. You don't have to hold everything to make sure you stay upright. My hand continues to hold what your strength cannot hold. My son, there is something in your heart that you have not yet given me completely. Write in the comments what you're uploading. It could be a word, a request, a name. My son, I know how your heart feels when you look around, and it seems that everyone is moving forward while you remain in the same place. I know what it's like to feel like other people are getting answers, living new phases, and going through doors that you also expected to find open. Then a silent question arises within you. Lord, have I been forgotten? But I tell you, the silence of men never represents forgetfulness on my part. You think that because no one has noticed your walk, it has lost value. But I tell you, that which human eyes ignore is still completely seen by me. You think you are hidden, but I tell you, you are being prepared. My son, Davy, knew this feeling. When Samuel arrived to anoint a new king, all of David's brothers were introduced first. They seemed more prepared to human eyes. They stood before the important people, while David remained in the field, tending the sheep. But I was not just looking at what was before the eyes. I was looking at the heart. Man sees what is before his eyes, but the Lord looks into the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. My son, while people did not remember David's name, I already knew the purpose I put within him. While he was away from the palaces, I was building up courage in him. While no one applauded their battles in the field, I was preparing their confidence. While he seemed forgotten, I was writing a story that no one could see. So also I work with you. You think you are late because you are not in the same place as other people, but I tell you, your walk does not have to follow anyone's clock. You think you have missed opportunities because others came first, but I tell you, what I prepare for you does not depend on comparison. My son, a seed does not feel inferior because it is still underground while other plants have already appeared. She understands that there is a time to take root before revealing its fruits. You are also in a process. There are parts of your life that are still being strengthened in the secret. There are thoughts being renewed. There are wounds being healed. There are capacities being awakened. You think nobody is seeing, but I see. I see the choices you make when no one is watching. I see the prayers you pray silently. I see the times that you continue even without receiving recognition. My son, do not confuse invisibility with lack of purpose. That which is hidden from man remains completely revealed before me. Where you are today doesn't define the place where your story ends. The silent phase does not mean no movement. Waiting does not mean abandonment. I know your name. I know your journey. I know what I have put inside you. And while you think you are waiting to be remembered, I am already working to reveal that which has been formed in the secret. My son, I know that there are dreams that you have put quietly within your heart. There are areas of your life that you have stopped mentioning because you believed there was no hope left. There are requests that you have stopped making because time has passed and your mind has started to tell you that it was too late. But I tell you, time is never greater than my power. You think that something is over because it did not happen at the time you expected. But I tell you, some things need to go through processes that your eyes do not understand before revealing the life they carry. You look at a closed situation, but I see a history which is still being written. You look at that which looks dead, but I see roots that are still alive. My son, do not confuse silence with end. Don't confuse a break with abandonment. Do not confuse a difficult season with the absence of my presence. I am the one who brings life where everyone sees only impossibility. When I told Abraham that he would have a son, time passed and circumstances seemed to say that the promise would not come to pass. But what I had determined did not depend solely on human conditions. I am greater than the limits you see. Behold, I make all things new. Revelation 21:5. My son, I am not limited by the time that has passed. I'm not limited by the mistakes you've made. I am not limited by the circumstances surrounding your life. You think your story was marked by what went wrong, but I tell you, I can still reveal chapters you never thought you'd write. You think that an opportunity has disappeared forever, but I tell you, I do not need the same conditions as in the past to accomplish that which is in accordance with my will. You think you have lost a part of yourself, but I tell you, that which I have planted within you is still alive. A tree may lose its branches, it may appear weakened by weather and storms, but as long as its roots remain alive, there is a possibility of renewal. So it is with you. Don't just look at what has been broken. Don't just look at what didn't happen. Don't just look at the parts of your story that feel empty. Look at the roots. Look at the faith that remained. Look at the hope that, even if small, still exists within you. Look at the life that I continue to sustain in secret. My son, some things had to disappear for you to discover that your hope was never only in them. Some losses revealed that their source was not what was in their hands, but what was established within their soul. I'm restoring perceptions. I'm renewing thoughts. I am bringing life back to places that you had considered closed, because that which seems lost to your eyes is still reachable by my hands. My son, don't determine the end of something just because you still can't see the beginning of a new phase. You were reached because you were chosen. Write in the comments, God has chosen me, and live that truth every day. My son, I know the parts of you that you try to hide. I know the insecurities you hold, the thoughts you don't share, and those moments when you look at yourself and think you're not enough. You try to show strength to everyone, but inside you carry questions that no one hears. You think you must always be well to be used by me, but I tell you, I work through hearts that recognize that they need me. You think that your limitations are obstacles to your purpose, but I tell you, it is often precisely in the place of your weakness that my strength begins to appear. My son, I have never looked for perfect people. I look for willing hearts, hearts that allow my presence to transform that which seems impossible. Paul carried a weakness that he wished to remove. He prayed for it to be taken away, but the answer he received showed a deeper truth. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My child, you think you needed to be different to be loved by me, but I tell you, I already know all your imperfections, and yet my hand remains over your life. I don't love a perfect version of you. I love you as I transform every part of your story. You think that your failures diminish your worth, but I tell you, they are no greater than my ability to restore. You think that your limitations stand in your way, but I tell you, they can become places where your dependence on me grows. A tree does not grow deep roots because everything around it is easy. It takes deep root because it needs to find strength in hidden places. So also I work in your soul. When you realize that you can't carry everything yourself, you learn to trust more deeply. When you recognize your limitations, you discover a strength that doesn't just come from you. My child, I am not waiting for you to hide your wounds in order to draw closer to me. I'm touching the very places where you feel weakest. I'm restoring the way you see yourself. I'm removing the idea that you need to prove your worth all the time. You don't need to earn my love. You don't have to pretend that you never feel afraid. You do not need to hide your battles to be accepted by me. Already know your full story. I know the days when you won. I know the days when you almost gave up. I know the times when you fell and found the strength to get up again. My child, the weakness you try to hide can become the place where my grace is revealed in the most profound way. Do not despise the fragile places in your life. Often, it is there that I build the strongest structures, because that which depends only on human strength may disappear, but that which is born of dependence on me remains. Maybe you've been waiting for an answer for a long time, and this message has been chosen by me to reveal something profound to you. Stay. My son, I know there are times when you look at your walk and feel like you are coming back to the same place over and over again. You look at situations that seem to repeat themselves, challenges that seem to return, and phases that don't seem to end, and then you ask within your heart, why am I still going through this? But I tell you, you are not going in circles. You think you are standing still, but I tell you, I am forming something in you every season. You think time is being wasted, but I tell you, I am using every moment to strengthen parts of your life that will remain. My son, not every movement means advancement, and not every waiting means delay. Sometimes you want to quickly exit a phase, but I am still working on that which needs to be built within you before the next stage. A tree does not produce fruit during all seasons. There are periods when it blooms, periods when it loses leaves, and periods when it seems to be waiting. But even when the branches seem empty, life continues to happen inside. The roots continue to grow. The structure continues to be strengthened. The preparation continues to happen. There is a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what has been planted. Ecclesiastes 3:2. My son, each season has a purpose. Some levels removed excesses that were weighing you down. Some experiences showed what really needed to remain. Some losses revealed people, values, and desires that were hidden within his heart. You think some things have been taken away for no reason, but I tell you, I often remove that which hinders your growth. You think that some doors have closed to delay your life, but I tell you, some doors have closed to protect your direction. You think you are going through the same place again, but I tell you, you are going through a new phase with a new maturity. The person who entered that station is not the same as the person who is leaving it. I've already transformed thoughts. I have already strengthened your conscience. I have already matured your way of seeing. Even though you still see some external similarities, there is a shift happening within you. My son, a seed does not grow the same way every day. There are times when it doesn't seem to change, but its roots continue to seek depth. So also I work in you. Growth does not always appear first on the outside. Often, the greatest transformation begins in the secret place of the soul. I know the result before you see the full process. You may not understand every step, but I know every detail. You may not understand every expectation, but I see what it is forming. Nothing I allow is without purpose. Each season leaves a mark. Each experience adds a layer. Each path strengthens something within you. My son, do not despise the phase where you are. It may not be the final destination, but it is part of the preparation for what I am building in your life. This message has reached you, and it can reach other children of mine. By subscribing to this channel and liking this video, you help my word reach more hearts. My son, I know there are times when you expect an answer, and silence seems to be the only thing you find. You present your requests, you lay your concerns before me, and you desire a clear direction, an immediate change, a solution that makes everything fall into place again. But I tell you, the absence of a visible response does not mean the absence of my presence. You think I am ignoring your prayer, but I tell you, I am working at a depth that a quick answer would not reach. You wanted a solution to a situation, but I am forming a new perception within you. You just wanted an open door, but I am teaching your eyes to recognize which doors really carry purpose. My son, some answers do not come in the way you expect, because I am doing something greater than simply changing what is around you. I am transforming that which is within you. Teach us to number our days so that we may obtain wise hearts. Psalm 90:12. I am teaching your soul to realize the value of each step. I am showing that there are hidden learnings in moments that you would like to overcome quickly. You think that delay is stealing your time, but I tell you, I am using this time to build wisdom. You think you are only waiting for an external change, but I tell you, an internal transformation is already taking place. My son, A person can receive an answer and continue with the same heart. You can achieve what you wanted and still not be prepared to sustain what you have received. So I often work first on the root before I touch the fruit. I strengthen your awareness before broadening your vision. I adjust your thoughts before breaking new ground. I teach your soul to listen before revealing what your eyes wish to see. You think you need an explanation for everything, but I tell you, some things are understood only when your maturity reaches the level of revelation. A child may look at a parent's decision and not understand the reason at that moment. She may think that something was denied, but then she realizes that there was care in that choice. So also I take care of you, my son. I'm not just interested in changing circumstances. I am forming a person who is able to stand firm even when circumstances change. You think that the greatest miracle would be that which happens outside, but I tell you, many times the greatest miracle happens within. That's when your soul finds peace, even before the answer comes. That's when your confidence remains even without signs. That's when you realize my presence in the small details of the walk. I am teaching you to recognize my voice in the silence. I am showing that I also speak through peace, renewed consciousness, and the strength that is born when you decide to continue. My son, do not despise the periods when it seems that nothing happens. There are times when I am closer than you think, working in places that your eyes cannot yet reach. My son, I know the pain that some goodbyes have left inside you. I know the moments when you looked at a match and felt like a part of your story had been ripped away. You imagined that person staying, walking by your side for many years, participating in chapters that you believed would be written together. But I tell you, not every match is a loss. You think you have been rejected, but I tell you, some separations have been protection. You think someone left because you weren't enough, but I tell you, some people had to leave because the next phase of your life required a new structure within you. My son, you look at the absence and feel the emptiness, but I look at what this absence has allowed to be born. There are places where your soul was dwindling to try to stay. There are connections where you needed to hide parts of who I formed in you in order to be accepted. There are environments where you were trying to fit in, but I was preparing you to grow. All things work together for good to those who love God. Romans 8:28. You think that some losses interrupted your journey, but I tell you, some losses were exactly what made room for your transformation. A plant does not grow when it remains attached to a small pot. It may survive for some time, but its roots need space to go deeper. So, also, I work within you. I enlarge your internal spaces. I strengthen your identity. I remove dependencies that have prevented you from recognizing the value I have placed on your life. My son, you wanted to stay in some places because your heart was used to them. You knew those people, those routines, and those paths. The familiar seemed safe, even when it was limiting its growth. But I know that which you cannot yet perceive. I know when a connection feeds your soul and when a connection weakens your identity. I know when a door represents purpose and when it represents only comfort. You think you have lost a companion, but I tell you, I was protecting your essence. You think you have lost a part of your story, but I tell you, I was preserving the next part of it. My child, do not allow a separation to make you believe that you are not loved. Some people leave your life not because you've lost value, but because their cycle has ended. Even a seed needs to separate from the tree that generated it to start a new phase. Separation does not mean the absence of purpose. Sometimes it means growth. I'm not removing people to leave you empty. I am teaching your soul not to depend on something that can change, because what I build within you remains. My son, look back wisely. Some things that once hurt your heart today reveal that my hand was taking care of details you couldn't see. Few get to this point in the message, my son, but you arrived. And that's no accident. What follows was reserved for those who persevered. My son, I know there are times when you look at a situation and you don't find any way out. You observe the circumstances around you, analyze the possibilities, and with human eyes it seems that all paths have ended. But I tell you, when you don't see a passage, I continue to be the one who opens paths where no one imagined existed. You think you have reached the limit, but I tell you, the limit of your vision will never be the limit of my power. You think that the absence of a solution means the end of history, but I tell you, some of the greatest manifestations of my presence happen just as human resources come to an end. My son, remember Moses before the sea. Ahead, there was a barrier. Behind it was a threat. To human eyes, there was no way. But what seemed like an end to all who watched was just the place where I would reveal a new direction. I opened the sea. I created a passage where there was no road. I have shown that what seems impossible to you remains only a scenario where my hand can act. I shall put a way in the wilderness and rivers in the wilderness. Isaiah 43:19. My son, you think that you must first find the way and then walk. But I tell you, many times I reveal the way as you trust and take the next step. You want to see the whole road before you continue, but I am teaching your soul to depend on my direction. A seed does not know all the tree it will become. She does not see the branches, the fruits, and the shade she will offer in the future. It just stays where it was planted and gets what it needs to grow. So also I am leading you. You don't need to know all the details to know that I am present. You don't have to understand all the curves to trust that I keep guiding. My child, do not reduce my action to the size of your possibilities. You look at the resources you have and calculate how far you can go. I look at what is beyond your capacity, and I see opportunities where you see impossibilities. You see a mountain. I see a way. You see a desert. I see a source. You see a closed door. I see a passage that has not yet been revealed. My son, some situations have come to you, not to show your inability, but to reveal that your dependence needs to be on something greater than your own strength. When you can't control, I keep ruling. When you can't work it out, I keep working. When you can't see a way out, I still know the way. I'm already moving details that you don't notice. I'm already preparing answers in places that your eyes can't yet reach. I am already strengthening your faith, so that when the passage appears, you will recognize that it came from my hands. My child, do not allow the size of the obstacle to be greater than the vision you have of me. The impossible before your eyes remains only a place where I can reveal my allegiance. My son, I know how many times you try to find your value in the things you can do, in the opinions you get, and in the way people see you. I know how the human heart desires to be recognized, remembered, and accepted, but I tell you, you don't have to build a value that has already been placed within you. You think you need to prove who you are, but I tell you, before you accomplished anything, I already knew your essence. You think that your achievements define your importance, but I tell you, your achievements only reveal parts of what I have already put into you. My child, the world teaches you to measure your worth by what you have, what you achieve, and the recognition you receive. But I look at something deeper. I see your soul. I see what no one can measure. I see your intent, your perseverance, your silent struggles, and your ability to keep going, even when no one is applauding. I praise you because you have made me in a special and admirable way. Psalm 139:14. My son, before anyone recognized your name, I already knew every detail of you. Before anyone saw your capabilities, I already saw the seeds I had placed within you. Before anyone believed in their potential, I already knew the purpose that their existence carried. You think that a rejection has diminished your value, but I tell you, one's opinion can never erase that which I have established. You think that a closed door means that you are not capable, but I tell you, an opportunity that disappears does not change what exists within you. You think your mistakes define your identity, but I tell you, your story is bigger than the moments when you fell. My son, a precious stone, remains valuable even when it is hidden. It does not lose its essence because no one has found it yet. So are you. The fact that some people do not recognize its value does not mean that it has ceased to exist. The fact that a phase has been difficult does not mean that you have lost its importance. The fact that a door hasn't opened doesn't mean you don't have purpose. I have already placed value within you before the world could give any name to what you carry. My child, stop looking only at what is missing and begin to perceive what I have already formed. There is wisdom that was born from your experiences. There is strength that was born from your battles. There is maturity that was born from the paths you have crossed. You think you've lost parts of yourself along the journey, but I tell you, some parts have been revealed precisely because you've gone through it. I am restoring your vision of who you are. I'm removing thoughts that made you see yourself as smaller than you really are. I am reminding your soul of a truth that no circumstance can erase. Your value doesn't start when someone recognizes you. Your value begins because I know you. If this message is confirming what you already felt in your heart, write in the comments, "I trust in God's action." My son, I know that many times you look back and feel that some periods of your life have been too quiet. You look back at the days that have passed, the opportunities that haven't appeared, and the changes that haven't happened the way you expected. And your heart begins to conclude that nothing has been done. But I tell you, silence never means absence of movement. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I was preparing the ground. You think those days were just waiting, but I tell you, I was building within you what would be needed for the next chapters. My son, you look at the outside, but I work on the inside first. You wanted me to change circumstances quickly, but I was strengthening your soul so that circumstances would no longer control your identity. You wanted an open door, but I was preparing your steps. You wanted an immediate answer, but I was forming a deeper understanding. Because some things that arrive quickly can also pass quickly when there is no structure prepared to support them. I'm not just interested in delivering something to your hands. I'm interested in transforming the heart that will receive that. My son, a root growing underground seems invisible, but it is doing essential work. Nobody applauds a root. No one observes its growth. But when the winds come, it is what holds the tree firm. So I have worked on you. Perhaps no one has noticed the changes that have taken place within your soul. Perhaps no one has seen the battles you have won in silence. Perhaps no one knows how many times you have had to choose to continue, even when you wanted to stop. But I saw it. I was present at every silent prayer. I was there for every difficult night. I was present every moment you thought you couldn't follow. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. My son, you would like to understand everything by the logic of men, but I am revealing a vision that goes beyond what your eyes can reach. You think some things have been delayed, but I tell you, some things have been protected. You think that some losses diminished your story, but I tell you, some losses made room for something deeper to be born. I'm already working on the areas of your life that you almost stopped believing. I'm already touching wounds that you've learned to hide. I am already strengthening parts of your identity that have been weakened by difficult experiences. You think you are waiting for a change to happen, but I tell you, a change has already begun within you. The same heart that was once dominated by fear is learning to trust. The same mind that was once consumed by anxiety is learning to rest. The same soul that once felt lost is finding direction again. My son, do not despise the invisible. It is in the secret that I prepare that which will be revealed at the right time. What you can't see yet doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What has not yet appeared does not mean that it is not being formed. I keep working, even when your eyes can't make it out. My son, I know that waiting is not easy for the human heart. I know what it's like to look at a promise and feel that time is passing without anything happening. I know how your mind tries to find answers when you don't see movements happening the way you imagine. But I tell you, waiting has never been a punishment. You think I was holding on to what you desired, but I tell you, I was preparing you for that which needed to remain. My son, there is a big difference between receiving something and being prepared to carry what you have received. Many people want an open door, but they don't realize that a bigger door also brings bigger responsibilities. They desire new paths, but they have not yet strengthened their inner structures to remain firm when challenges come. So sometimes I allow time, not because I forgot, not because I denied it, not because I have forsaken, but because I know that which your eyes cannot yet perceive. A child may ask for something he deeply desires, but a loving parent knows that there are times when it still won't do him any good. The child sees only desire. The father sees the necessary preparation. So also I take care of you. You think that delay means lack of love, but I tell you, some waits are proof of my care. You think I am late, but I tell you I am working at the right time. He made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. My son, I am not only preparing that which will come into your hands, I am preparing your hands to support that which will be placed in them. Because a blessing without maturity can become a burden. An unwise conquest can bring confusion. An opportunity without structure can reveal weaknesses that still need to be strengthened. That is why I work first on the roots. Before a tree can reach great heights, it needs to create depth. Before it can withstand strong winds, it needs to be firmly on the ground. So I do with your life. You think you're standing still, but I tell you, I am building depth. You think nothing is happening, but I tell you, I'm strengthening areas that no one can see. I am teaching your soul to stand firm. I'm maturing your vision. I am transforming the way you react to difficulties. My son, maybe you wanted me to change the scenery around you, but I was working first within you. Because a new season requires a new consciousness. A new path requires a new posture. A new responsibility requires a new maturity. I don't want to just deliver something temporary. I want to form something in you that will remain even when circumstances change. You think you have wasted time waiting, but I tell you, each day of this process has carried a lesson. Each moment of silence strengthened his confidence. Each challenge revealed a part of his soul that needed to grow. I'm already working on what you can't see yet. I am already forming within you the ability to live what once seemed distant. Because the waiting, which you called backwardness, was the place where I prepared your maturity. My son, I know the pain that exists when you look back and imagine how your life could have been different. I know those thoughts that come in silence, remembering old choices, opportunities that passed, and paths that you wish you had followed. You think you have wasted time, but I tell you, I am still working with that which you call lost. You think that some years have vanished without purpose, but I tell you, no moment given to me is wasted. My son, human eyes see only what has passed, but I see that which can be born from what you have lived. You look at an old page and see regret. I look at this same page and see learning. You look at a wound and see a painful memory. I look at her, and I see a part of her story that can reveal transformation. I will restore to you the years that were consumed by the locust. Joel 2:25. My son, when I restore, I am not stuck in the way you imagine. I don't need to repeat the past to bring restoration. I don't need to give back exactly what happened to show that I continue to take care of you. I'm able to transform your story in a way you never imagined. You think you need to make up for lost time, but I tell you, I can bring purpose to life even from the seasons that seemed empty. A tree does not produce fruit just because it has had perfect days. It often grows through the difficult seasons. The wind strengthens its branches. Rain feeds its roots. Winter prepares for the arrival of a new spring. So also I have worked in you. You think that difficult period delayed your life, but I tell you, it revealed parts of you that would not appear on easy days. I used her tears to deepen her compassion. I used his takedowns to teach humility. I used their deserts to strengthen their dependence. I used your moments of silence to bring your soul closer to my presence, my child. Nothing is lost when it remains in my hands. What you consider a forgotten part of your history can still be turned into a testimony. The scar you try to hide can become a reminder of what you've overcome. The phase you would like to erase can become proof that you have remained standing. You think you have come too late, but I tell you, as long as there is life, there is a possibility of transformation. You think your best opportunities are behind you, but I tell you, I am not limited by human seasons. I know the right time. I know the right way. I know that which is still being formed within you. The seed may remain hidden for a long time, but that doesn't mean it has lost its ability to flourish. Underground, there is a process that no one sees. Within the seed, there is a life that has not yet appeared. So it is with you. I continue to work on the areas that seemed forgotten. I keep bringing life to places you believed closed. I keep revealing that my ability to restore is greater than what you have lost. In the next few minutes, my son, I will show you something that can be a direct sign from me for your life. Don't leave now. My son, I know that there are times when you have looked at your own history and thought that something or someone has succeeded in interrupting what I had prepared for you. You saw difficulties, losses, and situations that seemed greater than your strength, and your heart began to believe that the last word had been given. But I tell you, no circumstance has the power to cancel that which I have established. You think that battle meant defeat, but I tell you, some battles reveal precisely what I was strengthening within you. You think that the enemy has won because some things have been shaken. But I tell you, they have never fully seen what I was building in secret. My son, there are works that I do in silence. As people look at the present moment, I am working in a dimension that human eyes cannot reach. Joseph was sold by his own brothers, taken to a place he did not choose, and went through situations that seemed to contradict everything I had placed in his heart. But the sale was not the end. Prison was not the end. The forgetfulness of men did not mean absence of my presence. I was using each step to form that which would be revealed at the right time. Daniel was thrown into a pit, but the pit was no bigger than the protection I had placed over him. Moses was placed in a river, but what seemed to be abandonment was the path that would lead him to fulfill his purpose. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. My son, you think that everything needs to make sense now, but I tell you, some parts of the story only reveal their meaning when you look back. You look at a closed door and think you've lost. I look at that same situation and see protection. You look at a delay and think you've been forgotten. I look at that time and see preparation. You look at a fight and think you've been left alone. I look back on this struggle and see an opportunity to reveal that my strength continues to sustain you, my child. That which tried to destroy your hope failed to touch that which I have placed within you. You can try to extinguish your light, but you cannot extinguish that which I have ignited. They may try to make you believe that your story is over, but I keep writing. I was working while you were crying. I was strengthening while you felt weak. I was preparing while you questioned. I was sustaining while you thought you couldn't go on. My child, do not measure my presence only by what happens around you. Sometimes, my greatest performance happens just when everything seems to stand still. A buried seed seems to disappear, but inside it there is life waiting for the right moment to break through the earth. So it is with that which I have formed in you. The process can be silent. The path may seem difficult. The wait may seem long, but what I build has deep roots, and that which has roots firmly in me cannot be destroyed by the storms that come along the way. My son, I know that your heart desires to understand every detail of the journey. I know there are questions within you that have yet to find answers. There are times when you look at a difficult situation and wonder why I allowed it to happen, why that road had to be so long, why some doors had to close. But I tell you, not every revelation comes before the crossing. You think you need to understand everything in order to trust, but I tell you, often trust is just the way that leads you to understand. My son, you want to see the complete map before you take the next step. You want to know every turn, every challenge, and every outcome before you walk. But I don't lead you just by the sight of your eyes. I lead you by faith. Abraham was given direction, but he didn't get all the details. He left his land without fully knowing the destination, but he knew the one who was guiding his steps. Moses crossed paths that seemed impossible. He didn't have all the answers when he started, but he was assured that my presence was with him. So, also, I work in your life. You think that lack of explanation means lack of care, but I tell you, some answers are being formed as you walk. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. John 20:29. My son, faith is not born when everything is clear. Faith is born when you choose to continue, even when some parts are still hidden. You think you have to see to believe, but I tell you, there is a vision that is only born when the heart learns to trust. A seed does not know the tree it will become. It does not see the fruits before breaking through the earth. She remains hidden during a process that seems silent, but inside her there is a life being prepared. So it is with you. You see the waiting, but I see the formation. You see the difficulty, but I see the growth. You see the question without an answer, but I see the transformation that is happening through it. My son, some pains that confuse your mind today will be precisely the experiences that tomorrow will reveal my fidelity. Some situations that have made you question will be the same ones that will show that I have never stopped caring. Because the crossing changes your perception. Before you just asked, why did this happen to me? But after walking, your soul begins to ask, what have I learned through this? Before, you only saw the loss. Then, you noticed the preparation. Before, you could only see the closed door. Then you understand protection. My son, I do not waste any path that you walk with me. Each step teaches something. Each challenge reveals something. Each season matures something within you. You think you need to receive all the answers to continue, but I tell you, some answers appear precisely because you continued. The crossing doesn't just take you to a new place. Crossing also transforms who you are as you walk. My son, I know that many times you look at your life looking for that door that will change everything. You expect a clear signal, an evident opportunity, an answer that confirms that you are on the right track. But I tell you, before I put a door before your eyes, I prepare your steps to pass through it. You think that the right door has not yet appeared. But I tell you, I am already working within you so that when it arises, you will have the discretion to recognize it. My son, not every opportunity is a direction. Not every open door means that this is the way. Not everything that looks good in your eyes carries what your soul needs. So I don't just work around you, I work within you. I prepare your perception. I strengthen your conscience. I teach your heart to recognize that which comes from me. A person can find a great opportunity and still not have the maturity to sustain it. You can achieve something you wanted and find that your inner self was not yet ready to deal with it. That is why, many times before changing the scenario, I transform the person who will live this new scenario. Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Psalm 119:105. My son, I don't just want to show you a way. I want to teach you how to walk wisely. You think you need only an open door, but I tell you, you also need eyes prepared to see which door really leads to purpose. You think you are waiting for an opportunity, but I tell you, I am already forming within you the ability to recognize what was prepared. Just like someone who learns to hear a voice in the midst of many sounds, their soul is learning to perceive my direction in the midst of life's distractions. I'm removing confusion. I'm bringing clarity. I'm strengthening your confidence. My son, some answers first come within the soul before they appear before your eyes. Before an external change happens, an internal change begins. Before a new path is revealed, a new vision is born. Before a door opens, I prepare your steps. You think you are waiting for the right moment, but I tell you, I am already working on your preparation. I know what you want to achieve, but I also know what you need to become. I see beyond what your eyes see. I know the challenges hidden behind every choice. I know the responsibilities that come with every achievement. Therefore, my child, trust in the process. that I am doing. Don't rush just because others have come first. Don't compare yourself just because other doors seem open. Each path has its time. Each person has their own journey. Each purpose has its preparation. The seed doesn't grow faster because it looks at another tree. It grows at the pace that has been established so that its roots are strong. So also, I am strengthening you. I am already preparing your steps for what your soul needs to find. At the end of this message, you will feel my presence in a way that you may never have felt before. Stay with me until the end. My son, I know there are times when you look at what has happened and believe that that phase defines your whole story. You look at the fall, at the mistake, at the decision you would like to change, and you think that the last chapter of your life was written there. But I tell you, a fall is not the end when I am still writing. You think you ended up in that place where you cried. But I tell you, that place was only a part of the walk. You think your mistake has erased your purpose. But I tell you, my grace is greater than the times when you failed. My son, I don't see you just for what happened. I see you for what I'm forming inside of you. Peter denied Jesus in a moment of fear. He looked at his own weakness and might have believed that he was no longer worthy to continue. But I didn't finish his story at that time. Peter's fall was not the end. It was a place where he discovered his need to depend more on me. David also knew his own mistakes. He made difficult decisions and faced the consequences of them. But I have not allowed your past to be greater than the purpose I have placed upon your life. My son, you think that one painful chapter defines the whole book, but I tell you, I know all the pages. I know the beginning. I know the medium. I know what is still being written. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. 2 Corinthians 5:17. My son, I am the God of new beginnings. I'm not stuck in your past. I'm not limited by your mistakes. I'm not hindered by the marks you carry. You think your scars are proof of defeat, but I tell you, they can become testimonies of the transformation I have accomplished. You think that what happened took away your ability to move on, but I tell you, I am still strengthening your steps. I'm restoring your sight. I am renewing your hope. I'm showing that your identity wasn't born from a specific moment in your life. Your value didn't disappear when you fell. Your purpose was not canceled when you faced a difficult phase. My son, a tree that loses its leaves during a season does not cease to be a tree. There is life working in places that the eye cannot see. So it is with you. Even when it seems that nothing is happening, I keep working. Even when you don't notice changes, I go on forming something. Even when you believe that you have come to an end, I keep revealing new paths. Do not allow a temporary phase to have the authority to define that which I have created to be eternal. You are not just what happened to you. You are also what I am building in you. My son, I see the full story. I see what you are still learning to see. I see a new phase emerging where you only saw closure. If this video came at the right time for you, write in the comments, I believe, Lord, and declare that you're ready for this new phase. My son, I know there are times when tiredness tries to convince you to stop. I know there are days when your soul looks at the walk and asks if it's still worth continuing. You carried weights in silence, faced battles no one saw, and tried to stand firm even when your strength seemed to run out. But I tell you, you have not come this far alone. You think you have to fight with your own hands, but I tell you, my hand is already holding up that which you can no longer carry. My son, place before me that which has weighed heavily on your heart. Don't charge as if everything depends on your strength. Do not try to control what is beyond your capacity. I never asked you to cross all the paths alone. I will go before thee and make straight the crooked ways. Isaiah 45:2. My son, before you came to the place of battle, I already knew the terrain. Before you faced the difficulty, I already knew every detail. Before his tears fell, I was already preparing sustenance for his soul. You think you are entering uncharted territory, but I tell you, know where you tread. is unknown to me. I've already gone ahead. I've already prepared paths that you can't see yet. I've already moved details that your eyes haven't noticed yet. My son, perhaps you are in the most difficult moment of the wait. Maybe you're looking at the last few steps and feeling like you can't keep going. Maybe you're thinking about giving up precisely because the road seems longer than you imagine. But I tell you, do not abandon the walk in the place where I'm completing the preparation. Often, the moment when the soul gets most tired is the moment when a new phase is approaching. The seed faces the pressure of the earth before it breaks out. The night seems deepest before dawn reveals its light. The root grows in silence before the fruits appear. So also, I am working. You think that delay means that nothing is happening, but I tell you, there is movement going on in the invisible places. You think your prayers have been forgotten, but I tell you, I have heard every word, every sigh, and every request that you have delivered to me. The longer wait often prepares a deeper transformation. Because I am not just preparing a change around you. I am preparing you to recognize, receive, and remain in when that which you have asked for arrives. My child, do not allow today's fatigue to make you forget all that I have already maintained so far. You've gone through days that you thought you couldn't win. You've been through moments that seemed impossible, and yet you're here. This didn't happen just because of his strength. My presence was with you. My hand has been upon you. My grace has been sustaining you. My son, I know exactly where you are. I know how much you've waited. I know how much this journey demanded of your faith. And I say to you, remain. Because the place where you almost gave up may be just the place where you will find that I have never ceased to act. My son, I know that for a long time you have looked at yourself through the marks of the walk. You've looked at the mistakes, the choices you'd like to change, the words that hurt your heart, and the times when you felt like you couldn't be what you should have been. But I tell you, you are not the end product of your mistakes. You are not defined by your downfalls. You are not limited by the difficult chapters of your story. I don't call you by the name of what happened. I call you by the name I have known since before it all began. My son, people can remember you for specific moments. They can look at a phase of your life and form conclusions about who you are. But I see beyond the surface. I see the essence, I see the heart, I see that which is still being formed within you. You think you have lost your identity when some things have disappeared, but I tell you, your true identity has never been bound by what you have lost. She has always been in me. You think your failures have pushed you away from my presence, but I tell you, I keep calling you near. You think that your wounds have diminished your value, but I tell you, that which has been wounded has not nullified that which I have created. My son, I don't see you only for the past that is behind you. I see you by the transformation I am performing now. I know every battle you have faced in silence. I know every moment when you needed to gather the strength to continue. I know every tear that fell when no one was looking. And even though I know all this, I keep saying, you belong to me. I have called you by your name. You are mine. Isaiah 43:1. My son, before the world told you who you should be, I already knew who I formed. Before circumstances tried to put labels on you, I had already placed purpose within your soul. You think that it is only that which you have been able to accomplish. But I tell you, you are much deeper than your achievements. You think that you are only that which you have lost. But I tell you, there is a life within you that no loss has been able to erase. You think that your history has been marked by pain. But I tell you, your history is also marked by my grace. I'm restoring the way you see yourself. I'm removing voices that made you believe you were too small, too weak, or too distant. I am reminding your soul of a truth that time cannot destroy. You are my child. You are seen by me. You are known to me. You are loved by me. My child, do not allow a fall to speak louder than my voice. Do not allow a temporary mistake to have more authority than the identity I have placed on you. I'm not building someone worthless. I am restoring someone whom I know deeply, just as a craftsman looks at a piece that is still in formation and sees what it will become. I see in you that which is being revealed. Your eyes are beginning to see because your heart is beginning to understand. You're not just discovering answers about your walk. You are rediscovering who you have always been in my eyes. My son, I thank you for staying with me until the end of this message. I know the struggles you've faced, the tears you've shed, and the moments when you've thought about stopping. But today, I want to remind you that your perseverance has not gone unnoticed in my eyes. You have come this far because your heart still seeks my presence, and I honor those who remain even when the journey seems difficult. There is a spiritual blessing for those who endure to the end. There is something special about a soul that chooses to continue trusting, even without seeing all the answers. Perseverance reveals a faith that is not dependent solely on circumstances, but is grounded in me. My son, nothing you heard today was by chance. I touched areas of your life that needed healing. I brought light to thoughts that were hidden. I reminded your soul of truths that time and hardship have tried to make you forget. You have not lost that which I have formed within you. You have not been abandoned on the way. You are not walking without direction. I continue to write your story, strengthening your roots and preparing new chapters that your eyes still can't fully see. If this message spoke to your heart, declare your faith with me. Write in the comments, I watched until the end, and also put your city. May this statement be a mark of your perseverance and a testimony that you have chosen to remain here. My child, take a moment to recognize all that I have done in your life. Look back and realize how many times I sustained you when your own strength seemed to run out. How many doors have I closed to protect you? How many paths I have strayed to guard your soul? How many times has my hand been present, even when you have not noticed? Now, keep walking with confidence. Allow this word to remain within you and transform the way you see your journey. Enjoy this video as an expression of gratitude. Share this message with someone who needs to remember that God is still at work, and subscribe to this channel to continue receiving words of faith, hope, and spiritual strengthening. I bless your life, your family, your thoughts, and your paths. May my peace reach the places of your heart that still need rest. May your faith be renewed, and may you continue to recognize my presence at every stage. Allow God to continue speaking to your heart. Take the next step in this journey by watching the next video that will appear here on the screen. In it, we will continue to learn how to live in God's presence and experience the fullness of His plans. Don't stop here, because God still has much more to speak to you. Always remember, God is greater, and His presence is our strength. Trust Him, and He will do infinitely more than you can imagine. May God bless your life, and see you in the next video.